But we have an important conversation to have because the Women's Rugby World Cup kicks off in about 21 days. It starts on the 22nd of August up until the 27th of September. And the Springbok women's rugby side are in the final stages of preparations before departing for the Rugby World Cup in England. And as I mentioned, it runs until the 27th of September, so a good month of women's rugby. New Zealand, though, are the reigning champions, but many nations will be hoping to knock them off their perch. They've been so formidable and so dominant. As part of our build-up to the tournament, though, we've roped in former Springbok women's rugby captain Nomsebenzi Tsotsobe to take us back to where the journey started for women's rugby in this country. Noms, thanks so much for joining us. It's good to be chatting to you. You're such a pioneering voice and figure in women's rugby in South Africa. I mean, long before there was Siya Kolisi lifting the Rugby World Cup twice, there were some pioneers like you fighting the odds, trying to give recognition to the women who played rugby in this country. You do come, though, from a sporting family, so how did you end up playing the game at that top level? And just give us a sense of your evolution in the sport.
Just to say thank you for asking me to come and speak to the ladies. I mean, it's a funny way how I started, because I was just running away from making tea for my mom and friends when they come back from work. It's really funny, but it was always be me in my blood, because I wanted to fill the void when my father passed away, and I thought, I wanted to be like him. And for playing rugby, coming from netball, I thought to myself, this is where I want to be. And obviously, my elder brother was already playing at that time, so I was just like a copycat type of a person, and I just involved everyone that was playing netball, and it just started from there, and then I never looked back.
Well, I mean, we always, I suppose, can credit moms and dads for where we end up. But I suppose I was very similar, a tomboy. You must have appreciated that influence from the family as well. And then you took that into a managerial role, shaping other women in the sport. How has the sport in your eyes evolved? Are you happy where it's at? I know there can always be more. There should always be more sponsorship, better structures. But from those early days in 2004 to now, are you happy with where women's rugby is currently?
I can't lie, because it took us 20 years for this transition. I remember 2004 when we were still playing, they were not ready. The office was there for the women to start the sport. However, they were not ready. The jerseys that we were wearing, there were no dietitians, there was no guideline for the women's rugby. And when 2006, when we started the Rugby World Cup for the first time, there was not much for us. There were no training camps. There was like nothing. But for where it is now, it's for us to say thank you. Thank you for SA Rugby to step up. Thank you for all the other sponsorship like F&B, for Coca-Cola, and all the others that I have not mentioned. Just to step up to say, we see you ladies, we want to be part of the initiative. And as you can see now, they start winning. They are getting to be confident on what they are doing. And for me, sitting outside and watching from outside, I see growth. And yes, it took us 20 years, but it's going somewhere. Remember the training camps in my time, and the teams that they're playing against, it's a wow for us, for the former players. We never played against Canada. Even to say Canada came to South Africa to play, no, we never had that chance. We never played against black fans. We never played against teams like Italy, Scotland, and all of those. And it's a big a round of applause for the former legends to see the growth. And we want not to end it here, because we've got the tendency of, when after every World Cup we tend to slow down. I want us to go further in terms of doing all these training camps again for the ladies, because it can only go so far.
You know, you've got the match against the Black Ferns coming up, and I've seen that updates there that experienced campaigners Ayanda Malinga and Danelle Lochner are back. It didn't exactly go our way previously. What are your thoughts regarding that fixture? And also, perhaps as we end off, because I don't want to take away from your time by still adding this question, do you think that respect in the game, you're a commentator, you're a manager, you're an esteemed voice, do you think that you're finally getting the respect as a female force in women's rugby and in rugby in general, particularly from our male counterparts?
I will say this again, they're starting to support us, and remember there's this campaign now, +1, they're bringing the families, they're bringing the aunts, they're bringing the boyfriend, the girlfriends, there's so much support. I always said, and I'm always going to say this, if you do not support these ladies, they won't know if they're doing a good thing or a bad thing. And at Atron Stadium last week, when they played against the Black Ferns, I saw something that I have not seen in a while. There was so much supporters, and for them, it gave them more confidence. It gave them a sense of belonging, and I love that. And you can see the results. It was like 26-34. That was a close results for them compared to what they played when they were playing against Canada. To me, I always say support gives hope to the players, and then when the players get hope, you get better results, and then with these better results, you get a winning team. So that's all that we are pushing for. Come with numbers, go support the players. For the commentators, then for other male counterparts, they're getting to start to understand, because we have a special person like Siyakolisi who always come and support the players. He will never miss a rugby game, more especially when he's in South Africa. That takes out of a man to actually go out of how many players are there? There are about 23 players in a men's squad, and when he comes by himself, at the end of the day, we'll see 5 or 10 of them coming to support the ladies. So we're just saying +1. It's a matter of because there's a hashtag now saying +1, meaning I need to come with my husband. Someone else must come with their kids, and it gets to the point of supporting the players.
100%. Thank you so much for chatting to us. We respect what you've done in the women's game, and we appreciate it, and we applaud you this Women's Month as well. We've been chatting to former Springbok rugby women's captain Nomsebenzi Tsotsobe. She's been chatting about the Rugby World Cup, the evolution of the game for women as well. Remember, the Women's Rugby World Cup does kick off on the 22nd of August. And as she's saying, go out there, bring your +1, make sure that spectatorship grows. That's where sponsorship grows, and that way the women's game grows as well.